something really important, to allow kids to be able to work together while in the Google Meets. And you don't have to be there kind of jumping all over it. Let them work together. Let them do activities together. I think that'd be really powerful. I want to get that message out. And that can be done. Here's the thing. And then you'll check work. And I'm guessing you'll do bell ringers, to have some work, but checking attendance, checking work. And we are going to hold kids accountable to attendance. The 90% rule is in effect. And so we're doing everything we can to make sure this happens, but recognizing it's not going to be the same as the classroom. But teachers, what we need you to be is they're ready for the kids who have a question. You need to ask a question. But what I don't want you to do is work past 5 o'clock. Period, or 4 o'clock, or whatever that time is. I don't want you working. I mean this as serious as I can be. Your day stops. Because we have parents who are really thinking, oh, we're going to go till 9 o'clock like we did in the spring in some cases. No, this is school.
2 a.m.
This is my way of saying we have to respect that you have your family life afterwards and you have your professional life here. And I'm as serious as I can be about that. Now, I'm not talking about the occasional check-in with the kid that you have a heart for, you're trying to help. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about standing up full on time that you're responding to kids, and especially high schoolers who are like, hey, I'm ready now. It's like, no, you're ready at 8 o'clock or 8:30 or whatever time it starts. You're not ready when it's convenient for you. This is not the nature of this. The other thing we got to recognize, at some point we're coming back. And those kids need to be ready to step right away into that discipline. Mm-hmm. Right away. There can't be time like we normally would have. They got to be able to step into it the day they come back. This is really important. Now, teachers reporting to work. Why? Right? So I'll just answer that because I'm strong on that. And I will tell you.
I'm very happy about me.
Good.
That's
I appreciate
easier.
that.
It's easier.
Well, I know a lot of ones.
You're
I actually
remembering.
was walking over to campus. I won't say which one recently, and I walked and I ran into a counselor. And I was talking to this counselor. And she's single. I'm guessing 30, so young, you know. And she's like, I've been alone since March. It's like, I get that. My heart hurt when I heard that. It's like, yeah, we got to get out. We, again, respect it, but you don't need to fear it. We got to get out of this idea. You got to respect it. You got to wear this when you can't social distance, right? And so we're coming back. My expectation is you guys can social distance in a school just fine without kiddos there. That is not a problem. You can bring your own kids because at a campus level, and we're communicating to the principals today. I don't want to hear what ifs and but days. If you want to do some things at your campus that work to maintain social distancing, mask wearing, and monitoring, I don't care what you do. I don't care, and I don't want to hear it. It's because there's so many what ifs and but days that I can't track that down. I can't deal with all the hypotheticals of it's just, leave me alone on this. These are the parameters. Go do what you need to do, right? But bottom line, coming back creates a sense of normalcy for you as well. It's better for support. It's better for monitoring. It's better for evaluation. It's better for PLCs. It's better all around. And I know there are some of you, no, I can operate from home. Appreciate that you can do that. But the vast majority of us need those supports. And I expect my people over here at the TEC to be out of buildings, supporting teachers. I expect my special ed people and my coordinators out at buildings, supporting teachers. We are, even though we're socially distanced and we're following mask rules and doing all that, this is work. And this is our work. This is what we all dedicate our lives to. And for me, I have a hard time seeing that being done at home, but I wanted to, because I know what happened at home. I saw that, and I'm not judging that. I saw that. That was a massive struggle. You guys need to be able to separate that. You just have to be as effective as you need to. I know that. I think you know that. I know there are some people who are trying to, well, what do I do with my children? It's like, I can't answer that for you. I can't provide daycare. I'm not a daycare provider. Actually, it's illegal. And so bottom line is, you're going to have to figure out how to provide daycare for your under school age kids. And oh, by the way, make your room as hospitable as you want. It's your room, and there's no one in there. You want to throw some bean bags in there and make it comfortable for your kids? Make it comfortable for your kids. You want to do something in this cafeteria? I don't care. I really don't care. As long as we're following, what did I say? social distancing, mask wearing, and monitoring. And that's part of our struggle in central office, which is why we're still struggling in central office. People bring their kids, because we have a problem. We're not designed like schools. And the monitoring and the social distancing become a major problem at many of our centralized areas. They don't work. And I expect my people to come and support you. I'm not going to tolerate them driving kids around and all that kind of stuff. That just doesn't work. You've got to be able to support people, and the job roles are different. The other thing I'm happy to say is we're not going to furlough anybody. But we may have people working jobs they weren't signed up to work because I don't want to furlough anyone. I want people working. I want to be able to pay, but I've got to, in good conscience, I got to make sure they're earning that pay. They're not just, and this is especially like bus drivers that I'm concerned with, because that's what they do, is drive buses, and we're not going to need a lot of bus driving. And so it's like, what am I going to do with my bus drivers to make sure I don't have to furlough them, that they can actually work? So they're going to be working, and we're going to be standing up the cleaning processes in buildings, just like we have. Our buildings are probably cleaner than your homes, frankly, now, because they're cleaned so frequently. We're buying unique systems. We're looking at unique systems, one of which is a filtration system that actually would filter out everything every day, all the time. We're looking at installing those. Those are expensive, but we're still looking at it. That'd be good for just general health, not just this situation, but just general health. So it's a good investment. We already are buying the machines where we can proactively spray every building every night. We should have all those in place by September sometime, late September, early October. We already have many, but not as many as we want. So I'm going to stop now. I think I've spoken to everything that's probably on your mind. I'm happy to take some questions. I'll do my best. I'm happy to take the critiques, but you know where I stand. So I don't think there's any question where I stand on issues. Hopefully there isn't. So any questions or things you want to comment on? Yes?
So I've watched all your online meetings, and if I'm understanding correctly, if the health department or the governor shuts us down, then we're allowed to use Learn Anywhere. But if we have to close because of an outbreak, we have to make it up at the end of the year?
No, that was original.
Okay.
This is part of TEA giving us new guidance. So probably in my original video, I may have said something about that, or a meeting or something. But now that has changed, and if we close down, we can use Learn Anywhere. One of the reasons I wanted to start school, thank you for bringing that up, but I saw no reason for waiting, especially if I believe we're going to keep going. So if we wait, all I'm doing is pushing off the inevitable, right? It's just like, if I believe pretty much for the entire fall, we may be in this situation. Now, I will tell you what I did tell the health people in a second. But if I believe that's the case, why wait to start school? You might as well just get going, because otherwise I'm just going to make people mad at the end. Because they're going, I'm not going into June. Well, yeah, you are. And so, it's like, so I didn't see the sense in delaying it. The main reason districts are delaying, frankly, is because they're rolling dice hoping they can open school, or they're not prepared to stand up virtually. And we were prepared to stand up virtually. We're disseminating our devices the second, third, fourth, and fifth. Mm-hmm. We're already talking about how we're going to train our youngest kids even in that period. So we're ready to go. We have all the devices we need. We had 48,000 Chromebooks before we started the year. So we're good. We just didn't believe in the idea of students having to transport back and forth devices. We didn't think that was necessary, but this is basically call our hand, and so we're going. One of the things, so now we can stand up learning if we have to close a school. If we open school and we have to close it, we can do that. The other thing that I think you need to know about me anyway, and I was really irritated by this with the Dallas County health officials, because on the call, I specifically said, I'm sure it's recorded somewhere, but I specifically told them, said, look, I'm the superintendent who wants to open schools. I'm just going to tell you, and I'll tell you guys, I want to open schools. I respect what we're facing, but I think we can do things to mitigate it. But that being said, I don't always get what I want, and that's okay. It really doesn't hurt my feelings. But here's what bothered me about the spring, and this is what I told them. Because they told us on the call they were planning to shut us down to the 8th. And I asked them quite simply, is there anything particularly interesting about September 8th? Do you believe that the mitigations we're doing now, along with keeping school closed for the first 3 weeks, will result in us opening school on September 8th? That should be the logical question, right? Their answer was crickets. And what I said, if there's nothing special about that day, then I would recommend you go at least 3 more weeks. Keep us shut down for 6 weeks. Because here's what's going to happen. This is why I made it 4 weeks, guys. This is why because TEA allowed me to go 4 weeks. That's why I did it. And I'm holding the other 4 weeks just in case I don't have to use them. Okay, so I'm just holding them right now. I may not have to use them because DCC may shut us down. But here's what I said. In the spring, this is what you did. You shut us down, and then the first week into the shutdown, I start getting emails from people. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I don't know what we're going to do because I'm still waiting on an order from the governor. I don't know. This is what was happening in the spring. I said that creates more anxiety and it makes it harder for parents to plan. If we can simply say we don't have any confidence in that day, let's just make it a longer period of time and have more confidence, then why not? Well, they didn't listen to me. Tarrant County did that. You saw Tarrant County went to the end of September, but we didn't do that. And that's you know, and people, you know, I don't need defending, but I appreciate your defense occasionally when you see when people say, "Why is Dr. Verlin closing schools?" Because I have to. Okay, it's not because I want to. It's because I have to. Why is Dr. Verlin bringing us back? Because he thinks that's in the best interest of bringing teachers back to the buildings and working from the buildings. Yep. He thinks that's how we'll do the best for our kids. Why are we not doing 4 hours like Sunnyvale? Because Dr. Verlin believes we should maximize the amount of time we have with children, not minimize it. I mean, these are things you're going to hear. And while I don't need your defense, at least you can answer for me. You don't need to agree with me. I can appreciate that. You know, but here's the thing about this situation. There's got to be at least 8 different levels of interest on the parts of people that I've heard. Well, I want this. Well, I want this. Well, I want this. Well, and you just can't accommodate 8 different levels of interest. It's not possible. And serve almost 40,000 kids. It's not possible. I was really proud of VLA. Now, VLA will be shut down, okay? So Learn Anywhere is for everyone right now. The second we are no longer providing Learn Anywhere as an option for virtual learning, we will shift those kids over that are still interested into VLA. So we're still planning, we're still doing work, but VLA is a very different kind of learning environment, especially secondarily. It's very different. And even elementary, it's different. And so it's not the same thing as operating in Learn Anywhere, which is you as the teacher of record, working with your kids. But we can't shift into VLA until a grading period ends. That's way too complicated from a credits standpoint, so we can't do that. And if we go very long, it's very likely that I'll be paying some teachers to do both Learn Anywhere and teach kids in school, depending if we bring kids back again. I just don't know. Yes?
That was, you kind of were stating what my question was. You stated that so far there's around 10,000 students signed up for VLA.
Yes.
Do y'all expect that number to increase?
A little. I think
That was, my second question was, if that number grows much larger, what is y'all's backup plan for those teachers? Because obviously you are going to have to pull from campuses to support that.
Yes, and we're affecting master schedules and all sorts of things. And so, yes, the plan is the reason we're locking those numbers in on the 3rd, is that right? The 3rd? The reason we're locking those numbers in on the 3rd is because that way we can plan for the eventual reality of shift in the master schedule. So we'll actually be making that planning over the next 4 weeks, 6 weeks essentially. We'll be planning that shift. As now, the truth, I already told you, I'm not confident that we're going to be opening up school on the 14th of September. So it may go longer. We're hoping to make those shifts in grading periods. So your high school, so the grading period would be 6 weeks. Elementary folks, the grading period would be 9 weeks. The first one is 8. So that's what we want to do because we think that's the best time to shift over the master schedule and make those changes. What I anticipate also, though, we've had these conversations, I could be wrong about this, but I anticipate that once people recognize that the Virtual Learning Academy, like Learn Anywhere, is school, not just school when I want it to be, we have a sense that there'll be quite a few adjustments downward. But I still believe we'll be sitting around 15 to 20% when it's ultimately done. I just think there's enough fear out there that people just don't want their kids in school. And I respect that. I disagree with it, but I respect it. So It just, so that will be, we'll be ready for that. And then we'll do what it will advantage if we do this right, is it will actually advantage social distancing. It just depends how numbers fall, but right now the numbers are really falling quite nicely in terms of every campus experiencing a similar number. There have only been a few campuses that aren't, but almost every campus is experiencing a very similar number of kiddos choosing, which is nice, because it actually helps us from a planning standpoint. But some teachers, this will especially be true at high school, some teachers will teach 2 classes in person, and they'll probably teach 2 classes virtually, just because the one-offs that we have that we're not gonna go hire more teachers to stand up virtual. We'll make the student come to school first, or just choose a different class. But we're trying to accommodate as much as possible in the VLA. But again, the VLA, I'm anticipating, I think I'd said about 20%. When I first talked about this, as high as 40% in some districts, not ours. I didn't see that ever in our district. But I wouldn't be surprised if we pick up, another 1,000 to 2,000 students, and then that'll probably tap out at that point. And then we'll allow them every 6 weeks in high school to back out and go to the campus should they select to do so. But again, understanding, I still believe we'll probably be going longer. And we're asking for the waiver tonight in anticipation of that. But again, don't know. I have zero idea. I mean, we looked at 400 about 4 days ago, cases. Then we looked at 600 for 2 days. Then we looked at 12, almost 1,300. And now we're 800 today or yesterday. I mean, it's just all over the place. Not even sure what these cases mean anymore.
Right.
I'm serious, because we've got positive cases that can go to work now because they've been positive twice for over 2-week periods. Now they're just asymptomatic, meaning they're not carrying anything that's communicable, but they still test positive. So guys, you need to hear this from me. You need to know this about me. This is honest as I can be. I don't wrap up any of my conversation in politics. I could give a rip about the politics of this stuff. I don't have the luxury of dealing with the politics of this. If there's politics. I'm just going to say that right out of the gate. My task is to figure out how to get kids educated. The politics of it affects me, but I don't have the luxury of sitting in that space and spending time in that space, so I don't. And when I go home, and I wish I could encourage y'all to do this, I spend 0 time studying COVID. 0. There's no point. In the morning I wake up, I listen to what people say, I bring my mask with me everywhere I go, I put it on when I can't social distance, or when I'm not sure, right? I respect other people, and so I wear it even in cases where I think it's the funniest thing to walk into a restaurant with a mask on,
Right.
and then sit down. There's one particular restaurant, the Bullspin. Any of you eat at the Bullspin? It's a really good restaurant here, and just down the street on Beltline. It's really good, by the way. Run by a local guy. You wear your mask in, but literally the table is like 5 steps from coming in. So it's like, I'm not sure why I did it, but I did it. Because I respect what people need, guys. And that's what I said on the call. Our mandate on masks will be 4th graders and up when they return. Now, I've asked, and the commission has not given us rationale for why we can't mandate younger, but we can't. And so we're going to highly encourage. We're still trying to figure out what the discipline methodology will be for kids who refuse to wear masks, because that's kind of nonsensical. We're going to send them to D-Hall or give them an ISS. It's like they're still in school, and we can't kick them out of school. So I really don't know what our recourse is going to be when kids choose not to wear masks. I really don't. We just need to, what I say is, and people misunderstood this on the call, I was like, I thought this was pretty logical. To me, it's very much like we deal with the peanut allergy. There's nothing that actually by law requires me to keep that kid out of that building if they bring a peanut butter sandwich. But everyone respects it and everyone does it because it's the right thing to do. And to me, the mask wearing, whether you believe in the what would be the word, the efficacy of wearing a mask or not, doesn't really matter. The bottom line is it helps everybody else. And sometimes we do for others. We don't concern ourselves so much with what we personally need. We concern ourselves with what others need. And to me, this is that case. So whatever your politics of it is, You know, I just want that left at the front door. You know, trust me, my cabinet has politics, so there are different feelings on my cabinet level, so anyway. Hopefully I answered your question. I gave way more than I expected, but I just feel a need to explain this. And
Well, I just knew it would be challenging if you've got all these students still signing up and how y'all anticipated handling that with the staffing. And people have asked me because they know I'm an MEA and what have you heard, and
Yeah.
so. You know,
But we will be
I haven't
prepared.
heard anything.
We will be, and my honest opinion is, I hope we stand up VLA forever. Sans this issue. I think it's another kind of choice opportunity to reach out to other families and engage them in a quality education that only we can provide. These fly-by-night people online, they don't know what they're doing. We know what we're doing. We know what quality education looks like, and we can stand that up and perhaps capture even more people into our district this way. So my opinion is this is a potential, but the state right now is not guaranteed funding for this past this year. My opinion is they won't have a choice. Once the public experiences an opportunity, it's pretty hard not to continue that opportunity into the future. So we'll see. But yeah, I actually hope that we can stand up a really high quality virtual learning academy. Feeling pretty good about what we're doing so far. So any other questions or comments or thoughts?
Because we're just gonna go to that Learn Anywhere training.
Oh,
Will we be able to use that in the classroom when the kids come back for consistency?
absolutely. And Learn Anywhere, we weren't expecting to stand up right away. We thought we were going to do that over time. We thought we were going to ask you to learn it this summer, and then as kids came back, do it once a week, just to get kids in that model. We had no idea we'd be thrust into it immediately. That was really not what we were expecting. But thankfully, we were ready. Dr. Rivera's department, along with Kara and Treva's department, did a terrific job of getting this ready. I'm really proud of it. But it still comes back to you guys. Now, I want to say this because I think it's important, and I know you guys got to go. So I'll say this really quick. Guys, you know me. I'm a decentralization kind of guy. But right now, we have to centralize processes very quickly because we've got to build capacity fast. The only way you can build capacity fast is to centralize processes. Once we have confidence that people really have good control, not just a few people, not 10%, but as a body, we have good control over this process, then we can start backing off. Then we can allow you guys to come in with your experiences and your knowledge and start doing your piece on Learn Anywhere. But out of the gate, there's just too much learning. And for too many folks to just simply let that just kind of go by the way. We want to be able to provide proper supports, evaluations, monitor, see what needs to pivot, see what needs to be done better, because I do believe that this will become a part of normal education, not every day normal education, but a part of normal education. You guys will see opportunities in this to help you in your own teaching in your own classroom that you couldn't have fathomed without being pushed into this. And I don't even know what those opportunities will be. I just know they'll be there. Well, guys, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for your commitment to our children. And guys, like I said, prayers for your safety, sincerely, and prayers for quick opening of schools. So thank you all.
Dr. Breland, I'll be giving you the little goodies that I make for everybody, so you can have hand sanitizer.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Bye, y'all.
I think some of you just need to stand up a second and virtually high five and virtually hug everyone. Okay, I'll be there. We're so pumped about being back where we need to be. I don't remember where, Donetta, right there?
Restrooms
Restrooms right there?
they're actually, if you go out this door, or this one, they're around that corner.